I high-fived the corpse of a dead bird. Okay, let me tell you the story of how I ended up giving a high five to a dead bird. So, I was going to AT Psychology. It was a beautiful day outside. The sky was beautiful. It was blue. It was blue like the color of the ocean. So, basically, I had my AT Psych textbook with me, okay? And I was heading down to my classroom. And because my AT Psych classroom, like my textbook is like up to here, right? So it kind of like blocked my view, so I couldn't see everything. So it was far too late before I saw the squished item on the platform in front of the pavement in front of me, okay? So the problem was, I didn't know what it was at first. So it took me a millisecond to determine like what it was, and I saw that it was a dead bird. It was like the size of my fist. A dead bird, completely squished on the pavement, most likely ran over by a car. So I see it, but in the time it took for me to process what exactly that it was, my momentum was already going too fast, okay? I was accelerating. This is some kind of physics thing, okay? So I'm going at it at like 1 billion miles per hour, and it's already too late. It's already too late. I'm about to step on it, but luckily, I do some kind of like gymnastics, and I somehow avoid it. But the problem is, instead of my foot landing on the dead bird, I fall, okay? I fall. And my right hand, plap! My right hand goes straight onto the dead bird. Dead center, okay? Dead center onto the dead bird. With all its guts and stuff leaking out. And so, there I am. Right hand on the bird, left hand on the pavement, both knees on the ground. On this uncomfortable pavement. I can feel it digging into my knees. Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, what do you even do in this case? Okay, I have no experience. Nobody has any experience in how to get up after falling on a dead bird. So I just lie there for 5 to 10 minutes, because the problem is, let me tell you, okay, when you get up from all fours, you need to put weight on either your right or your left hand. So I'm pretty sure it was my right hand that was on the dead bird, but when I tried to put weight on the right hand, basically I would feel like the guts and like the entrails and like the blood and the brains of the bird, like I would feel them squeezing through my fingers if I put weight on my right hand. So that was a no-go. I wasn't gonna squish the bird more to try and get up, but if I put it on my left hand, I would have to lift up my right hand, but then I would hear like a sound, like a sucking sound, because my hand was like glued to the pavement by the corpse of the dead bird. It was so gross, okay? It was so gross. So I was just there, all fours. I couldn't do anything about that. And then after that, basically, my friend comes out of the school building 10 minutes after me, while I've been in this position for 10 minutes, and she just runs towards me. She's like, are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong with you? And then she grabs my wrist, she rips it from the dead bird, okay? But she doesn't see the dead bird until it's too late. So she grabs my hand, and then it's right next to her face, and then she slowly turns her hand, and then sees like blood all over my hand, and then she screams. She's like, oh my god, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? But then she hasn't looked at the dead bird yet, so she turns her head, looks down, and her foot is right on the dead bird, because she wasn't looking. So anyway, both of us are screaming at the point, and then we just both freeze. And then I push my hand away from her, and then she pushes her foot away from her, and we're like, what are we gonna do now? So we decide collectively, okay, we walk to the nurse's office, and I have my right hand far away from me, like this, and she has her like foot, like just, I don't know, she can't really do anything with it. So she's just like tracking blood of like the bird all the way down as we head towards the nurse's office. It's like leading a trail, like one bloody footprint going to like the nurse's office. And at the nurse's office, we walk in. There's a bloody footprint behind us, and my hand is fully covered in blood. This does not look good. And the nurse is like, what? Are you sweeties? Okay. Are you darlings? Okay. And we just like look at her, and I'm like, I fell on a dead bird. I gave it a high five, you know? And then she's just like, the nurse is like, what do you mean? And I was like, I fell on a dead bird, and she stepped on it. And yeah, before we knew it, the whole nurse's office was filled with people, okay? Everybody was pouring in because there was blood everywhere. There's blood on her hand. Okay, there wasn't that much blood. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I think there was that much blood, okay? I think it was everywhere. It was all over my hand. It was over her foot or something. And anyway, it was bad enough, and the story was crazy enough that people were pouring into the nurse's office. They're all looking at us, and they're all judging us. And you know what I'm even more worried about? Even though I disinfected my hand, okay? I had alcohol wipes. I scrubbed this thing down like I've never scrubbed anything before. But the problem is I'm scared that I cut my hand and then there's some kind of like rabies or like tapeworms inside the bird, and then it like got into me and now it's already eating away from me and from the inside, okay? Maybe that's what's happening to me. And you know what's even worse? Maybe differently, that bird is like I'm like spiritually infested by like the ghost of like the bird in my right hand. Like I have like the ghost of a bird in my right hand because I like ended up squishing the bird even more than it already was. So what if it's haunting me? Why does this stuff always happen to me? Like, why does all this stuff happen to me? Like, why do I have to fall on a dead bird? Like, there was so much other pavement to fall on, but no, I end up falling on a dead bird. And why does this always happen to me?